The animated guy called Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town has shown the entire world that everything is possible if you stay persistent.
Yes.
Today we will be ranking the top 5 best covers of the original Pokemon theme song here on The Juice. Welcome to The Juice. We are having a Pokemon week.
Yep.
Yes, in celebration.
There's a new game came out just recently, Gen 9.
Yes.
Scarlet and
Violet, yeah.
How does that seem wrong to say? It's better to say Violet and Scarlet than Scarlet and Violet?
I don't know, but they kind of sound like girls' names. Awesome girls' names, actually. Scarlet and Violet.
They kind of could work like that. Yeah. Violet, I think that's actually a name. You can call like.
Yeah, it is.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Anyways, the top 5 covers of the original Pokemon theme song that was created back in the 90s.
Yep. By Jason singer, Jason Page, and 2 other dudes who wrote it.
Yes. And let's dive directly into the action, shall we? Yes, the first cover that we are, of course, going to talk about, might as well just get him out of the way. Jonathan Young.
And it's the best one of them all. There's no question about it. It's just what it is. I'm sorry, it's the first song. It's going to be the best song, and it always will be.
Are you sure about
this? You don't
this?
need to watch the rest of the video. Just off.
He didn't really win that fairly in this last cover episode we did. But Jonathan Young, he collaborated with the original... What? He collaborated with the original singer, Jason Page.
Exactly. Only the best does that.
You're so biased on this one. It's insane.
It's a good one. Come on. Yes. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Your overall thoughts on Jonathan Young and the OG Jason Page?
Yeah. So, Jason is an American singer.
No. He's an American drummer.
I was
he's a Power Ranger.
I was trying to say he's an amazing singer, and I said he's an American... What? Singer?
He's an American singer.
Anyway, he probably is. I freaking know. He's an American. Jesus Christ.
Words are hard today,
I think my brain frozen here.
I don't know.
He's an amazing singer, and Jason Young. Me.
Jason Young.
Don't want anyone. It's a good song, okay? It's a good song. Just listen to it. He has a beautiful tie. He has a very beautiful tie.
Yes.
Go look to it and comment beautiful tie.
They made a metal cover of the original theme song.
Yeah.
But would you classify it as metal or rock and roll? Like, it kind of has the Grand Prix lists all over it, actually.
But you're on thin ice with this, because, like, what is metal? Like,
what is metal?
If you ask really true metal fans, like that, there are toxic fandoms and everything.
Yes, and I'm one of them.
In the metal community, like, what is metal? What is hard rock? What is rock? What is progressive metal and stuff? Like, I don't even want to say, because people are gonna shout no matter what you say.
Yeah,
I would probably rank this as hard rock.
Hard rock,
yeah, hard rock. But you know, but AC/DC is also categorized as hard rock. I don't freaking know.
It's not like he's screaming throughout this track at any point. Like, they're really sticking true to the original. Like, having that original sauce to it.
Yeah, they did change some things in it, but still, you know, very true to the original. But it's a huge
power mode, like power mode. Yeah, power move to have the original singer Jason featured on this cover track. Like,
you've made it in life when the original singer features on your cover. Like, of the song. You've done good.
I want to make a cover of the Pokemon track. Well, let me just be part of that cover for you, won't I? Wouldn't that just make it part of the original? Yes, and it will be freaking magical. And here it is.
You're broken. Absolutely. And what was I? I was just so baffled about you being an idiot. Wait, what?
It happens.
I think what makes a metal song, that was what we were talking about.
Yeah.
We're about to piss off a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I have a problem with calling a lot of things metal. Because what is metal? A lot of people will have you believe that it is, you know, you take a song that has some guitar, and then you plug the guitar in an amplifier and put some gain and distortion on, and then you play the same song with power chords.
Yes.
Metal. And you know, it's kind of like metal go brr. And it's...
Metal go what?
I will say that yeah, but also no. I that's kind of a thing we've come back to in another couple of videos too, where I said it has become very lazy to just put some distortion on some shit and call it a metal cover. I understand, but metal is a lot more than that. And so what is this? Like I don't think it's a metal cover, but it probably is in some people's mind. And I'm fine by that. I would say it's maybe more hard rock or maybe just traditional rock with a bit more, punch to the amplifier.
Yeah,
perhaps.
definitely.
It has some. It still has those 80s, 90s rock vibes.
Yes.
This too, even though it's a bit more, produced. But yeah, regardless, it's a cool cover.
It definitely is. Moving on to the next cover by Lindsey Sterling.
Oh, that's cheating.
How is that cheating?
No, because I was just being very mean to the rest of them by saying Jonathan's the best, and I actually like Lindsey a lot.
Yeah,
She's a
Lindsey
cute
Sterling,
one.
by the ones who may not know, is a violinist, and she has taken over YouTube in the early parts of her career.
If you don't know Lindsey Sterling, just give up on life. It's fine.
Exactly.
You can just get off the internet.
And she's collaborated with so many huge artists at this point, and her cover of the Pokemon theme song was actually one of the more iconic covers of its time. And she managed to make something very magical about it. Like, it's a cover without the lyrics on it. She just made an instrumental, beautiful, magical cover.
Yeah. I think it's important we just remember the other guy who's on it too, Kurt Hugo Schneider.
Yeah.
He was the guy who made this cover with him. He's not a singer, he's a musician, and he has been featured on so freaking many things. And he's just such a talented multi-instrumentalist and producer.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Lindsey Sterling has worked with him a couple of times. They always make great music. And it's probably the most, original cover.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It's one of the more original covers we could find.
Yeah.
A lot of the covers we tried, like when we did the research for this video, we do our research, by the way.
What you call it?
It feels more like people just took the instrumental, like some kind of a cappella version, like I don't know, like they're
backing track. They
just took the original track as a backing track and made their own vocal on it and called it a day. And I kind of felt that very, very lazy while trying to find these covers. So Lindsey Sterling, she's definitely a part of the best top 5 pile we could find.
Yeah, and that was really a big problem we had with this cover in particular, because there was just metal covers everywhere.
Yeah.
Now we had also Leo Macchioli, we had Rod Lundgren, and so forth.
Yeah, it's
and
like
they were doing their own thing, but also not really. It's this cover we were talking about. I was telling you about it. I feel that what people are doing with this is they are so scared of actually touching what makes this song great.
Yeah.
That they're just doing the same thing. They won't change. Oh, don't change the big wee in the intro. Oh, don't change the solo. Don't change the
intro. Don't change the pianos that's going on in the intro.
Because it's too iconic. But the problem just becomes that there's it's also a great song to do a metal cover of.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it kind of leads up to it.
Yeah, but they're kind of just all the same.
Yeah.
Just with different, very talented singers.
It's like saying that the greatest covers we could find for this video was definitely the covers were from artists that dared to stick out from the masses, like who dared to challenge the track and do something different with it.
Absolutely, and to be fair, even though I loved Lindsey Sterling's version, where her violin is kind of like the vocals, it was still very true to the original. I wouldn't have minded them doing, a little bit more.
No.
Being a little bit more crazy about it. It's fine.
Maybe
they have the talent to do it.
Maybe she could make a 25th anniversary comeback.
Yeah. But very amazing cover. But yeah, it was actually difficult to find something that was not just, put some distortion on the guitar and let's go make a metal cover.
And let's make the exact same same
there's
track,
nothing wrong with it, but we are not listing great singers. We're trying to be in the more artistic way of a cover.
Yes.
So the whole music.
The next artist we are talking about is a guy called Billy Crawford. This is a very old cover. I think it's more than 11 years old.
Why do you have to say it like that? We're way older than that. Like, to me, 2010 was yesterday. I just feel 2010 was yesterday.
It's not.
10, it's not
We're
that long
growing
ago.
beards now.
Oh.
We have responsibilities. We have bills to pay.
Oh, I just want to play Pokémon.
Billy Crawford, who he actually made what I would call a dance cover of this track. It's pop dance, like it's when we were spinning the clock back to like 11, 12 years ago. This was actually the type of way that the pop was produced. It was I don't know how can you, it's like it was different. Because he stick true again to the original, very much so, but he dared to mix up the song rhythm in many ways. Like it didn't feel overproduced.
No, I was when we were listening to this, I was kind of trying to figure out his voice. I think that this is not a cover that has been done professionally, so I don't think that has been a professional producer.
I don't think so either.
I think he just did it, and he was very talented, because I felt like there wasn't autotune on.
No,
and not to say that he was
sound like it. Like
it's not that he wasn't singing on key. It's just you can't really hear when autotune are being used unless you really, really want to and try to like find. There were little human imperfections. Normally, when you use autotune and you do it in a good way, those imperfections just go away and you won't notice. It's not that it gets this weird effect.
But he kind of gave
pitch correcting.
But he kind of gave the track charm.
Exactly. You will find that it has a little bit more of personality now when you use pitch correcting software to remove these human mistakes and errors. You often use a lot of other effects also in today's world, like echo and delay and stuff like that. So you won't really even notice that pitch correction has been used. But in this case, I feel like I don't think he used it, and that makes me think that he was just a very talented guy who made this and probably didn't have access to these programs.
What I really loved about this cover is definitely how he, like, the original theme song has pop elements, they have dance and rock elements, like it's kind of like a mush together.
Absolutely.
And he decided on one. He said, like, okay, instead of taking all these things together, let's just decide on one genre and see what we can do with it. Like, he took the guitar and threw it out the balcony, and and it sounds amazing. Actually,
it's kind of
he
like,
made it work with something different.
Yeah, it's like a little EDM kind of vibe, right?
He
took that, there was that whole piano synthesizer on the original. I think he just built the whole song around that.
Yeah, exactly. Like and
cool.
and the vocal rhythm was kind of it focusing on that piano core.
Yeah,
I really love
more
that.
Poppy also.
Very poppy. Next cover, we're going into Issues. I would say it's a rock band. And it's definitely from one of their tours. It's a live cover where they had made their amps into the old original.
There it was.
Yes, to the original Game Boy designs, and they created their logo in Pokemon writing as well. And
would you like one of their amps?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
I wanted
their amps. Geeking out so much about this. Just look at it, and look at they have it, and then it's the square, and then you put it in the Game Boy, and look, it's the amplifier. He was so cute and adorable.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, also, it's a good cover.
By the way, it's a good cover. Like, look at their stage performance. Like, everything, all the props is amazing.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a great cover. Again, we're over in the rock metal kind of genre. I actually feel this was more metal than the Jonathan Young one.
Yeah, but I only think if you took out the screamer, I think the screamer guy on the track, like on the live performance, it would have become way more pop rock.
Yeah, it's again one of those things where you're just like, hey, let's make a metal cover. Do we know an angry guy who can shout? But then you just do that and you have metal.
They actually, like, I think they proved something towards us with this cover. I don't think we talked about this. That if you want to do a cover of this track, you definitely need 2 vocalists, or at least make a dub track underneath yourself. While doing it, definitely because of the chorus.
Oh, I like that word dub track, because Lindsey Sterling's song was technically dubstep. Yeah, that was fucking great. But it's very, very difficult to sing this song, because the chorus part and the what's it called?
The choir part.
The choir part. That was what
both choir and the chorus.
They're kind of important. They're singing some very important parts of it.
Yes, yeah. And it's like if you don't have 2 vocalists, you can't even have the entire lyric.
No, you have
That's
to
not
cut,
possible.
No, you have to cut some of the words very short.
We saw some of people who tried this, and it didn't work out very well.
You kind of want it. You're looking forward to all this, the long notes and the vocals and stuff like that. And you should definitely probably record some more takes. of this,
Either
'cause it's just-
make
it's just not
yourself
working.
another recording underneath it,
Yeah.
or get a featuring on it.
Yeah.
Because
You could see
else
some
it's
of-
not gonna work.
Yeah, they either have to like cut the words short, or they're running out of breath.
Yeah.
Basically.
They only made like half the track on this live performance, but even though it's a live performance, and it's definitely still one of the best covers I could find because it's so different, and because I geeked out so much about the props in the
cool.
background. I was like, this.
Those Game Boy cartridges. Yeah, that was
If
cool.
I was a manager and saw this, I would have done some very inappropriate stuff.
Can you, honey, can you? You are a manager,
Oh yeah, that's
and you
right.
did see it.
And I did some very inappropriate stuff.
If I was a manager, said you are, and I saw this, you did see it. I would have. Yeah, you did that too.
Moving on to the next cover.
Yeah, we better.
We better move on here. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this.
To
I
this
wanna
one.
say it.
Yes. Try pronouncing that.
We're gonna go into Scott Bradley feat Sarah Nimitz. I'm so sorry,
Nimitz.
Sarah.
Nimitz.
I'm just apologizing. They made a jazz.
They made a beautiful jazz
They
version.
made it freaking jazz, and it works.
It works
just
so well.
works. Her voice is amazing, and they changed everything.
Imagine I think you mentioned this. You could have heard this in the background of a James Bond movie.
Yeah, it was just so cool. At one point, they like break the whole song, the rhythm down, and then they have like the low points. Then they alternately get that jazz way, that jazz bass. Dum 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 dum. It's just so cool. It was just really cool, and it
freaking
worked.
loved it. And her vocal was amazing.
It was so
so
soft.
controlled.
Yeah, it was soft. It was controlled. It wasn't loud. It was even her like high pitch when she comes up, almost like a falsetto.
Yeah.
That little whistling, beautiful low falsetto she had. It was beautiful. It was just such a great one.
I would really say that this is definitely one of those who deserves to be, in my case, in the top 3 here.
Yeah, absolutely. Jazz is one of those genres that a lot of people.
It's hard to write jazz.
Yeah, and a lot of people hate on it because it's a difficult one to have an opinion about. But this was great.
I imagine me sitting at a jazz bar in New York back in 1920s.
It had those vibes.
And hearing this track coming on, like live from the stage, I would be like, oh, I'm going to be gangster for the rest of my life.
What did they call pentatonics? No, the guys that do the persons that
the people
that makes covers of songs and make it old. They're called like jukebox.
Jukebox, yeah.
It's just jukebox.
I think it's just called
What the
jukebox. Yeah.
hell?
I think they're called jukebox.
I was just gonna put the real name on. No, but they are doing that thing. They're taking a lot of songs and making it old school kind of thing. And they've done that to a lot of songs, especially like the 1920, 1930 eras.
Yeah.
And I just remembered, that's exactly how this also sounds. It sounds like those old jazz cafes and, with a big smoke or cigar or something like that. It has that very, very
amazing,
wonderful jazzy vibe.
Yeah,
that we all remember.
A wonderful vibe. Like it's one of the most beautiful covers I've heard of the Pokemon theme song.
Yeah, I think this is a great one. Also, if you want to get into jazz a little bit more, I think this is the way to go about it, because it is maybe a little bit of Hollywood jazz. It's a little bit modern,
very much so.
It's poppy jazz. It's the one that everybody has heard and kind of likes.
Yeah,
and I think that's great. I think that's a great place to start, because jazz can also, take some really crazy turns and have very niche kind of stuff.
It's kind of like one of those tracks, if you want to focus on your studies, but you want to be motivated as well, this is the track for you.
You're not going to hate this. This is the pop world of jazz, is what I'm saying, right? And
it's all black and white, and it's amazingly done.
Well done. It's such a beautiful cover.
Let's rank our top 3, and then let's go from worst to best. My top 3 would definitely be Lindsey Sterling, of course, Jonathan Young, and I would say, Scott Bradley and Sarah.
I kind of agree that those are also the 3 that I kind of enjoyed the most. Scott Bradley and Sarah, were
Nimitz. Nimitz.
were definitely the most, original and had put the most work into it.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say.
Issues, you made some amazing props and you played the song phenomenally, but please record it for me. And Billy Crawford, I don't know if you're still making music because your cover is insanely old. And you did some very great decisions on just choosing on one genre, but you kind of fell flat when time moved on. Scott Bradley made a jazz cover from the 1930s, and that sticks way better for me.
Yeah, it does. I do. I think for me, it's. I would say Scott Bradley, Jonathan Young, and Lindsey Sterling.
From bottom to the top.
From top to bottom.
From top to bottom, you would say that the jazz version is number one.
Yeah, it was just, there's so much work going into doing a jazz cover like that properly. And they've had to like rewrite and do so many things with so many different instrumentalists. And they did it great. And she was such an amazing singer. And they took me by surprise by how great it was. Yeah. They changed a lot of things. Jonathan Young and Lindsey Sterling, they changed stuff. Lindsey Sterling made a whole, dubstep thing about out of that song. But it's just, in generally, it wasn't my favorite. I just didn't like it as much. Quite simply, I would rather put Scott and Sarah and Jonathan Young and Jason Page on before I would put Lindsey Sterling on. It was just not my thing, that whole dubstep thing.
Which I actually...
So Scott and Sarah, Jonathan Young and Lindsey Sterling. The only reason I'm putting Scott and Sarah on the top is just because it's the absolute most original. Jonathan Young and Jason Page, just amazing rock cover.
Yeah.
As you would expect.
It's an amazing rock cover, but then again, I kind of find it cheating in a way.
It is cheating.
It is a distorted guitar on the original, and he has the original singer on it. So
it's cheating. It's cheating.
I kind of find Lindsey Sterling is winning this one for me. Like she's number 2 for me.
Yeah.
Because she created something very magical and medley-like with only the use of a violin
and Kurt.
And Kurt, of course. But
she used Kurt.
But the fact that she could actually make this happen, and it's how beautiful it sounds.
But I agree so much.
There's nothing to sing along to, but you still get transluted into this track.
I so much agree. Lindsey is just amazing to what she does, and this is amazing too. It's just this kind of dubstep and this kind of thing she was doing here, even though I recognize it's one of the best things and it's so amazing, it's so cool, I just like the sound of the two others better. It's more of a genre thing, I guess. I'm just a little bit biased toward it. Yes. But I would have put Lindsey Sterling over a lot of other people, so I would also have been biased there because I love Lindsey.
Yeah.
Just maybe not this one.
Let's say that Lindsey Sterling, you get a solid 3rd place, even though we disagree on where you should be, but we have to nudge at some point. If you guys are agreeing that Lindsey Sterling should be on the 2nd one, write it down in the comments.
Yep.
But for now, she's getting a 3rd place, a solid one. And Jonathan Young and Jason Page, you are getting the 2nd place. And the winner and the big crown of the best Pokemon theme song cover goes to Scott Bradley and Sarah and Mimi. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of The Juice, and welcome to the Pokemon Week here. If you want to check out another Pokemon episode, this video is definitely for you, where we're gonna talk about Ed Sheeran's Celestial. And remember to subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. See you next time. Bye.